It's been 5 years since Kendrick Lamar dropped his Pulitzer Prize-winning album, Damn. And since then, a lot has happened. A lot of which Kendrick has stayed out of the spotlight for. So when Baby Keem started releasing songs like Family Ties and Range Brothers, both of which featured Kendrick Lamar, you could imagine how excited fans got to hear that he was back in music. Kendrick Lamar returns with his latest and last release, according to a social media post, called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. What I love most about Kendrick Lamar is how he makes his music. His music always feels like it has a more profound meaning or a deeper purpose to it. He's an artist I notice is a lot less concerned with making the next best project and making music that's going to resonate with the people who listen to it, whether the album suffers or succeeds. With that in mind, I thought this album was pretty good. Like his previous release, Damn, this album is a double album. However, unlike Damn, this isn't something you have to listen to in reverse to get the double album. It's broken up into two parts, the first part being the Big Steppers and the second part being Mr. Morale. Big Steppers is a much louder part of the album. He offers a mix of elegant flows but also very aggressive tones. This part of the album felt more aggressive, a lot louder, a lot more bombastic. I think a great example of one of these aggressive songs is We Cry Together with Taylor Page. In this specific song, Kendrick portrays this picture of a toxic relationship between a man who's played by Kendrick in the song and a woman played by Taylor Page in the song. The two are constantly going at it from beginning to end in the song. The first hook has them cussing each other out, and by the end, they're having sex with each other. It's a little bit of a difficult listen, but it's one of those songs that helps fully portray the theme of this side of the album. The second part of this album, Mr. Morale, is a lot softer, a lot more empathetic. And between listening to the Big Steppers and Mr. Morale, I found that I enjoyed Mr. Morale a lot more. This part of the album shows us a more vulnerable side of Kendrick. He constantly repeats on the song Crown, I can't please everybody. This hook tells me that he's making this music whether you love it or hate it. This is for people who need to hear this, including himself. And I think thematically, putting Big Steppers and then Mr. Morale offers this sort of connective tissue for the album. I was a little unsure about the idea of putting the Big Steppers first and then putting Mr. Morale second, because I felt that having that aggressive start was something that was going to turn listeners away. But I think what makes it work is you get this aggressive, expressive, exaggerated Kendrick Lamar at the beginning of the album, and then afterwards you get a much more soft, calm down, I'm sorry, I can't please everybody, Kendrick Lamar on the second half of this album. I think it's truly a brilliant approach to this album. But I think with this album, think less about how it sounds and more about what it's saying. If you are looking for a brilliant piece of self-expression that shows us the good, the bad, and the ugly of Kendrick Lamar, you will be very pleased with what you hear on this album. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers gets a 4 out of 5 scratches. The listener is given a lot to consider on this album, and it may even be a bit overwhelming at times. And while I would personally not qualify any of the songs on here as bangers, they accomplish their goal of getting their message across and making for a truly remarkable sounding piece of music. This album will take a few listens to fully understand, but I would recommend giving this a listen when you get the chance, if you have not done so already. Conceptually, I would say this is one of Kendrick's best.